dooby doo. All right. Let's see what we got going on before I do this. Let me put my timer on. And I guess we'll sing our favorite song before we get it on in the video game land. Where the games get, and the games get, and they get on another. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back. We just finished up some um, decap attack. We're hanging out here in this virtual room of mine, um, playing some video games. I got Operation Condor on in the background, living life like it's 1990 back when I was a kid, hanging out in my room as a preteen on a Saturday afternoon, kind of taking you through that experience. When I last left you guys, we're going through the D titles of this amazing library of games that I have here that I was able to purchase through the PlayStation Store. One of my favorite aspects, again, about having this awesome PlayStation 5 is the fact that not only do I have access to some of the greatest new and current games, I'm also playing Hogwarts Legacy right now, probably one of the best video games I've ever played in my life. But it also gives me a chance to go back and play some of the classic titles that I grew up with and give you a chance to check them out. I don't know how I would share these. I'd have to have like a ton of equipment to like hook up an old Sega Genesis and find titles, and just it'd be like a real big pain in the butt trying to share those with you. But thanks to PlayStation, I just download them into my system here and do little videos and share them with you. And while I've been doing this, I realized like we're doing D, so D for I think I'm gonna skip Dr. Robotnik. We'll come into that. We're going to go to Dynamite Headdy. Just because we're doing decap attack and the last game, we're going to jump into more head games. Another guy who throws his head. Dynamite Headdy. Hey. Again, I mentioned in the last video that Decap Attack was probably one of the most Sega games we've played so far. Another great example of like, what are we even looking at here? They gave us characters like Sonic the Hedgehog, and now this weird looking guy. It's very Alex Kidd looking to me, and somewhat maybe like Bubsy as well. But again, like, Ninja Turtles came out, then Battletoads. You have like the SWAT cats, biker mice, shark. I mean, like everything became like an animal property, and I kind of feel like the same thing happened with Sonic. Sonic came out, kind of blew everybody's minds as to like, what are we looking at? And then that kind of became the Sega brand of like giving people characters and things that was just like, what? Up until that point, I feel like everything had been kind of humanized, and Sega was just like, no, we're going to give you Toe Jam and Earl, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Dynamite Headdy. Now, as I said, I'm hanging out here kind of pretending like this is 1990, watching old movies, and sharing some of my experiences with you. Sorry, take a little sip of coffee there. But I thought it'd be important to talk about my dad a little bit. I talk about him from time to time whenever it comes to Sega, different things, because really without his support and some of his influence, I wouldn't be still doing what I'm doing here and playing these games and hanging out with you guys. My dad was not a huge gamer. He had a Atari when I was growing up. I do remember that, which I was not allowed to play or touch. And then as we got older, my sister and I don't ever really remember asking for a Nintendo. That's not like a memory that I have. I'm sure if my dad were still around today, he would be like, oh no, you were definitely asking for a Nintendo like all the time. I just don't ever really remember a time. Like, I do remember going to a different friend's house and like, they would have them. They're like, cousins and stuff like that. And I would go hang out with my buddies and play theirs. And I'm sure there was like a moment of like being disappointed and sad and coming home and like knowing I didn't have one, you know. But I don't ever remember being like, Dad, I want a Nintendo. I want a Nintendo. Can I have a Nintendo? Although I'm sure. Just going through some of the sound menus here. It's one of the things we used to do growing up. Like this was what our options were. We'd get a video game and we could play the game, or we could do the sound tech and we'd just do sound checks and sound tests and just go through. But he did buy us a Nintendo very early on. I feel like by the the Christmas of like '88 or so, like we had a Nintendo in our house, and I don't ever really remember. I'm sure my dad tried it out and tested it out, but again, I don't ever really remember my dad being a huge gamer and like sitting with us and playing these games. I feel like being Duck Hunt with a light pistol, he probably tried that out and probably tried out like a little. Does anybody else see that? 8, 9. You would think 10. No. A, B, C. O, A, O, B, O, C, E, F of 10. Not 11. We go 20. Whoa. 85. Or is that a 2? 30. 30A. That is so weird. Oh, excuse me, I had a cough there. I'm still, if you remember my last video, I was definitely feeling some illnesses, and it's I'm feeling great. I never really felt like that under the weather. I think like last Monday and Tuesday I felt a little rough, a little drained, just getting over like a little bit of a cough. But anyway, my dad would let us rent and buy us games all the time. So like he definitely supported us playing Nintendo. And like I said, even though I don't remember asking for a Nintendo, what in the heck? Opening demo now playing. What the heck? Am I playing anything? Dark Demon. Am I tripping right now? What is this? Yeah, exactly. That's me right there. Big question mark in my head. What is going on? Opening demo now playing. Heather? Who's Heather? I'm so lost. Am I playing a game? Or am I still asleep? Am I playing? Oh, I'm playing! What? Okay. Oh, he's gonna kidnap all my buddies, and then I gotta go. There's no way to beat him. Okay. So really, you don't have to do anything. You just just do nothing. Just make sure you don't get hit by those, I guess. This is such a bizarre. This is such a sick. And look at him, he's so mad. He's like, I did all that for nothing. They all still got kidnapped. What in the Christ? It's like men in the background, like... Oh, is it we're fighting now? What? Oh, shoot. What in the Sailor Moon? Bro. Yeah, I have no idea what that was. I was gonna talk about my dad for a minute, but I can't even think right now. That was so insane. Is that Japanese? How Japanese is this game? Very Japanese.
Yes.
Exactly. Hi. Alright, so yeah, so my dad would surprise us from time to time with like video games and letting us rent games and stuff like that. I can't tell what's gonna kill me and what's not. There's like stuff running at me, but it's not trying to. This is like the first time that's ever happened. And like I said, as I remember, playing or I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. This is so weird. Okay. Weird. I remember, like I said, not asking for a Nintendo. Although, like I said, I'm sure it happened. I definitely do not recall asking for a Sega Genesis, and I've like told this story before, where my dad took my sister and I to Toys R Us one night and didn't let us like look around or anything. And we were just like really surprised. I think my mom was working, so he was like in charge of the kids and everything. And he was like, "Come on, you know, we're gonna hop in the car here and we're head to Toys R Us." And we were just excited, you know, we couldn't believe it. Like, oh, Toys R Us, Friday night, you know, so cool. And we went in and we weren't allowed to look around. We just went right up front to where like they had like a whole row of like tickets. I think that's where they had like all their games and like their bikes and stuff like that, like the pricey like all the pricey merchandise, I guess you would say. And you just get the ticket, you take it to customer service, and then they would have everything like behind the counter, kind of like in a warehouse in the back, kind of a thing. So anyway, my dad goes up front. He's like, "Wait right here." We get this huge like box put in the bag, and we can't see what it is. We go get our dinner, which is Long John Silver's. We head home, and he's still like, you know, the whole way home he wouldn't let us look in the box or the bag. Not even when we got home, and I have no idea what I did, but I won. Sweet. I got a secret bonus. Not even after, like, you know, we finished our dinner, and it wasn't until like we finished watching our show, our TGIF, like I think it was like Perfect Strangers or something like that back in the day. Like Perfect Strangers and Full House was the only thing. Don't lose your head, Headdy. He finally let us open up this bag, and inside was a Sega Genesis, and we had no idea what it was. Like, he just completely surprised us with it. But that was like how my dad was. Like, he had his ear to to the ground all the time with everything. Like, he knew about video game systems and games and things before my sister and I knew about them, and that's like what we were into. We read magazines, and we thought we were up to date on all the information, and we knew everything that was coming out, but we never even heard of a Sega Genesis. And we're like, what is this? And his response was, let's hook it up and check it out. I think as much as my dad had heard about this thing and wanted us to have a Sega Genesis, he really wanted to check this thing out and see what it was all about as well. Like, I think there was like a kind of a kid aspect of my dad. He was like, I really want to see what this 16-bit graphic hype is all about. And he was blown away too. I think when, Ultra Beast fired up, he was just as excited as we were. Again, I don't remember him ever trying his hand at Sonic the Hedgehog or any of these things, but I kind of want to go shopping now. Target. That's all I do. I'm kind of getting sick. I don't feel good. I might have like a... What am I doing? Oh, there's a timer. Okay. Thank God. I was like, how long does this go on? Target. Walmart. Oh my God. That was awful. Danger. Toys in the hood? Okay, so that will kill me. Toys in the hood. This is so weird. So was all that just to kind of show you what... Was all that just practice crap? And this is the real game? I'm so confused. I would have been playing all those, like, doors all weekend long thinking, like, oh, I'm beating the game. Like, nope. You're not even playing the game, buddy. But yeah, my dad, I think, was just as excited about electronics and things as like me and my sister were. And I think seeing like what the Sega Genesis could do, I think made him just as excited as as we were. Again, I don't recall asking for a Sega Genesis because I definitely remember being completely surprised about like what I was even looking at when he brought that thing home. But I do believe the following year I asked for the that's so weird. The oh shoot, the Sega Game Gear. How do I get up there? Oh, okay. That's weird. Which I did get, but I was surprised that my sister got one as well. That was something I was not expecting. And that following year, whoa, when we got the Game Gear, I think it became clear that we were... What? How do I don't know what I'm doing. It became very clear that we were like a Sega family from that point on. Oh, that's how you do it. That's so ridiculous. You would think the ball would just go in there automatically, because they're shooting right out. Look, like that should go in. That would go in. But that year we got a Sega Game Gear. It definitely established us as like a Sega family. I remember my cousins and a lot of my neighbors and friends all still had Nintendos or Game Boys, and um, my sister and I were getting Sonic games and Sega stuff for Christmas, and we never became like a family that were like siblings who were like, Nintendo sucks and Nintendo don't and Sega does or like anything like that. I love the campaigns, the marketing campaigns that Sega put out, but we never. Can I leave? Do I have to make 5? Oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, there we go. Just keep doing this. It's like, I want to get out of here so bad. Thank you. I'll try to. But it definitely established us as like a Sega family. I remember after that Christmas, we, really, I mean, almost after we still played our Nintendo after we got our Sega Genesis, but I kind of feel like, in a way, I knew that was going to happen. We kind of shelved it, our Nintendo, and it was like from that day forward, like almost as soon as we got our Sega, it was like we are a Sega family. Like I said, when we got those Game Gears for Christmas that year, like it just really established us as like, my sister and I both as gamers for one. But it also, like I said, established us as like a Sonic and not a Mario family, if you will. Still a lot of love for Mario. Always have been love there, always will be love there. Always have been, always has been love there. But, that year of like, I guess 1991, it was Sega all the way. What the crap? Oh, snap, that's cool. Huh. Aw. Killed a little doggy. A little wind-up dog, that's hilarious. Remember those little dogs, you would like wind them up and they would like click down and do a little flip? No? Well, that's how old I am. Like I said, I remember asking for the Game Gear. I definitely, after that, remember asking for the Sega CD. That was something I begged my dad for. My birthday was, well, still is, right after, well, I guess that's why they kind of give you where to shoot. What in the world? Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Freeze time. Oh, that's BS. But I do remember like begging my dad, like I said, for the Sega CD. And I remember opening that and getting, I think I got that launch year. I'm almost positive I got that launch year. Although it could have been the year after, because I kind of remember getting, um, this is so weird. I kind of remember getting Sonic CD with it, which did come out till the following year. So it's possible I might not have gotten it launch year. Um, that I might have gotten it the following year. But I do remember like begging my dad for a Sega CD. When I finally got one, um, oh man, I was so excited. And I think again, there was a part of it where it was like, as much as my dad wanted me to have a great like Christmas, and he wanted me to have this awesome video game system. Oh, so that's where you're not supposed to be. Okay, I thought the arrow was like, this is where you want to go. And it's like, just, because I was like, it makes more sense. Oh, that's my timer telling me it's time to, oh, and the thing's way up there. All right, you know what, we're just gonna stop this game. This game is too weird. We're gonna finish up the last bit of this video. Just kind of talking a little bit here. Um, But yes, I remember my dad, finally got me the Sega CD, and I was just so excited. And again, I think he was also excited to see what this thing could do because, my dad, again, like he wasn't a gamer, but he was very much into electronics. He was a huge movie person. I remember having like a CD player, and his whole thing was like collecting albums and records and that thing. And then the CD trend kicked in, and he started, um, collecting CDs, and we just always had like a lot of cool latest electronics in our house growing up. Um, and I just remember he was like very excited about the Sega CD himself. Like it was one of those consoles, like he thought the Nintendo was kind of cool, and I remember him hanging out and like I said, not really playing games with me, but always watching me play games, like watching me play Pinbot on Nintendo and different things on Sega Genesis. I remember his mind kind of like being blown the very first time he saw what the Sega Genesis could do and what that looked like, and really being blown away when I showed him the Sega CD for the very first time. In fact, more so by the sound and not even just the graphics. My dad could appreciate good graphics when he saw them, but really it was the sound that blew my dad away when it came to the Sega CD, and that was part of it, that digital CD quality sound coming through your speakers. And when we jump back into this next part, because we're not done, we're going to do three videos all on dad, all talking about dad, the three Ds, triple Ds, Decap Attack, Dynamite Headdy, and Dr. Robotnik. Three-part video series here talking about dad. D is for dad, D is for Dr. Robotnik here on Rob's Arcade. And we're going to talk more about some of the later years as we jump into my preteen with the Sega CD, and then even what my adulthood and gaming looked like with my father. So don't go anywhere. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe. If it's not your first time here, you've been here before, maybe share the video for me, show a friend, show a cousin or something like that. Let's get some more people in here. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know how you're doing, some of your favorite games growing up, what you think of this mad. I would have been so mad if I rented this back in the day. If this is what I got home, I would have been like what garbage is this? Um, but thanks for hanging out, watching me play this garbage. I will be back in just a bit. Please don't go anywhere. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And don't spend that quarter anywhere else. Take care.